What's up, y'all? It's Miss Mac and Prez, and we are here to
give you 5 facts that you may or may not know about African American history that may or may not be in the history books, and it's the Rebellion edition. So we're going to bring you different topics every month, 5 of them to be exact. So get tuned and get ready to learn.
get your thinking caps on, because here we go.
It's not going to take much thinking. Just accept this information.
So our first rebellion was in 1663, where 9 servants rose up against their house. They marched down to Sir William Berkeley's mansion. Was it a governor, right?
Yeah, but why they serving this? Got the dance battle.
I'm weak. Anyway, they marched down to his mansion to start the rebellion, to kill him or to let him know, hey, we need some different codes up here for the slaves. It was led by William Bell and John Gunter, who were also slaves at that moment. However, their plans were compromised by a fellow slave named Birkenhill. He told them of their plan, or he didn't tell them, he told the white people, the slave owners, of their plans to rebel. And so they were executed and were put back into slavery, while Birkenhill was freed with 500 pounds of tobacco. So first rebellion was a fail, but at least they tried.
Next we have 1712 New York Rebellion. What happened here was a few slaves got together and they said, we're going to set one house on fire, and that's going to give the code to all the rest of the different people that was in on the plan to start their rebellion. Once this first house went on fire, white people started rising, waking up, and then they went over to check stuff out. And from there, they just started picking off some people with guns and, knives and different things that they had. They say about 9 people was white people were killed and 6 others were injured. From there, the ones that got away, they was able to go tell Governor Hunter at the time, and he called in the military group. And the military group, they started rounding up the slaves, and there was 23 of them. But 6 of them, before they can get caught, committed suicide, because they was like, yeah, I'm already about to die. I might as well die on my own terms. So, yeah, those that got caught, what happened with them is, man, they sent them to trial. And once they found guilty, the ones, some got burnt alive, some got killed with the wheel. And then they said it even was a few that was 6'9" and then got pardoned. So,
Not sexually. Just had to put that out there. Our next rebellion was 1739. It was called the Stono Rebellion, or you guys may know it as Cato's Revolt, because Cato was the slave in charge of it. So Stono Rebellion all started at the Stono River, where 20 slaves assembled to plan their escape from South Carolina to Florida. When they got there, they broke into Hutchison's store. They killed the 2 storekeepers and stole the guns and powder so they could be armed for their journey. Unfortunately, the white owners did catch up to them on their journey, and they went to battle. So about 100 slaves and 20 white people went to battle with the white people. 20 white people were killed, and about twice as many black people were killed and returned to slavery. A few of them did have the opportunity to escape into the swamps, but were later captured. Once they were captured, South Carolina decided to enforce slave codes more harshly. So they took away their rights to grow food, to assemble with one another, and they took away their chances to learn how to read.
Somebody had to be snitching in this too, because those numbers was off. Ain't no way I got more people than you and you still beat me. Niggas need to stop 6'9".
Well, I feel like it's also with the actually being trained in combat. Like, these black people knew what these weapons could do, but they weren't trained on the actual attacking, the planning, the strategy, and things such as that. They just knew to kill.
I guess that makes sense. Niggas are snitching
and do all these things. But overall, at least we can't say that black people never tried to escape or revolt.
I don't know one slave that ain't never tried.
But that was the big thing, like with Kanye West saying, they didn't have to be there. I mean, they did try. They just really wasn't educated on all the forms of combat.
Kanye didn't say they didn't try. He said you didn't have to be a slave.
Oh, okay then. Whatever.
Next, we have the 1811 German Coast Uprising. What happened was, few slaves got together and was like, they was over this shit again. Thought they was gonna make it. So they took to the sugar plantations and started burning crop. And then they was like, now we finna go in these houses. So they start killing the kids, the ones that was gonna be the next generation first, leaving the dads to be able to go escape and get to their partners and start conjuring up their plans to, you know, react back, you know, to what they was doing. So it started with about 40 slaves. Eventually, once they got done, they hit a few plantations. They even got 100 or something together. And from there, once they got about 100 or something together, I guess the white people at that point, ain't no telling how many they have. Couldn't find a correct or exact number on that, but they start picking them off. And eventually 40 was murdered on the black side during the fight. And then the other 60, they was even hung, tortured, burnt alive probably, raped and sold, whatever. Whatever they do to people that when they catch them in that time, that's what they did. So yeah, that's what happened in 1811 in New Orleans around the Mississippi River.
The German Coast Rebellion. That's one for the books. Our last rebellion was Nat Turner's rebellion. So Nat Turner was a slave, and he led 75 other slaves to war in Virginia pretty much. He felt that he was chosen by God to end slavery, and he took the sign of an eclipse was his sign to go and start this rebellion. So he and the slaves, they killed the house owners, and they marched into Virginia to battle against the militia. Unfortunately, they did lose in combat. Nat Turner's slide dog self hid in a hole for a whole month and a half before he was discovered. Once he was tried and executed. But I mean, he did go for a month. But this whole Nat Turner's rebellion actually inspired John Brown for his raid. But that's a different story.
Those are 5 facts that you may or may not know in Black history. It may or may not be in the history books. Rebellion edition. Again, I'm Prez. And she's Miss Mac.
I'm Miss Mac. Stay tuned every month to learn more.